Well, Jehovah and Jesus have given us a fine, well-chosen gift in the form of the elders. But as we will discuss, all of us must make sure that we always show appreciation and respect for this divine provision.
Yeah, that's right. The lawsuit was filed Thursday. It speaks of years' worth of abuse to 5 girls and 1 boy. Their Dallas attorney thinks there are more abuse cases.
The lawsuit alleges 6 children were fondled, groped, molested, and exposed to sexual acts during the 1990s while spending time with Jehovah's Witness elders in North Texas. This Kingdom Hall in Dallas is named as a defendant in the suit. Also this hall in Plano and another in Greenville. The suit claims a church elder at the time, Reginald Tyrone Jackson, committed many of the crimes. The 6 unidentified plaintiffs are now young adults. Each says the abuse spanned years during their childhoods when they were 13 or younger, including the complaint which says Jackson groomed member children and then, while acting in a position of authority and trust, sexually abused them. It also says the governing body did not report this conduct to the authorities and did not otherwise warn members of the general public.
They are also shepherds, protecting the flock from Satan, the murderer, serpent, dragon, and lion.
Right. The suit was filed today in Lorain County Common Pleas Court. In it, Elizabeth McFarland says she was sexually abused between the ages of 9 and 14 while she was a member of the Jehovah Witnesses West congregation. That's out in Lorain.
Additionally, they are teachers, feeding the flock with nourishing spiritual food. But now we ask, how does Jehovah tell us that we should feel about these hard-working gifts in men? Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, and let's get the answer. Notice, we're told to show respect for these dear brothers.
2 in Lancaster County, all members of Jehovah's Witnesses. Fox 43's Harry Lee reports on the repercussions for the organization.
Disturbing and sad.
Those are the words Acting Attorney General Michelle Henry used to describe alleged child sexual abuse committed by 5 Pennsylvania men. All are members of the Jehovah's Witness religion.
Some of these defendants even used their faith communities to prey upon the victims.
2 of the men charged were members of this Jehovah's Witness congregation in Lancaster. 44-year-old Norman Aviles Garriga is alleged to have molested at least 3 young children between the ages of 5 and 10 in the late 1990s.
He was an elder in the Jehovah Witness congregation.
Please turn to Hebrews chapter 13 and verse number 17. And this scripture describes how deep our cooperation should be. Notice, we are told to be obedient. Clearly, this means that we're supposed to comply with or obey what they tell us.
A member of the Jehovah's Witness congregation her family belonged to in upstate New York.
That abuse started when I was a toddler. I was still in diapers.
Steele says she was abused by a man within the church who befriended her parents in the 1970s. She says the abuse progressed over the years from fondling to rape. When Steele was 11, a sex education class at school led her to tell her mother what was happening. She says her parents were devastated and went to the elders of her Jehovah's Witness congregation to report it.
We had several meetings with the circuit overseers and the governing people that would come and try to tell us that it was in our imagination.
Steele says despite the congregation's dismissal of her claims, her father went to police and her abuser was arrested and sent to prison for 3 years.
Here is a soul-searching question. Do you periodically go up to various elders and say something like, "Brother Elder, we just want to thank you for your hard work. Please be assured that we appreciate it." However, it seems that some publishers never ever commend the elders or express appreciation. Might this not indicate that we are taking them and their hard work for granted? Of course, they will not quit if you do not give them commendation. They primarily do their work for Jehovah. But if you do express appreciation, believe me, it will be most encouraging to them. And even though it may really surprise the elder the very first time you do this, please do not hold back this good from those to whom it is owing. Appropriately, Jehovah tells us at Proverbs 3:27, do not withhold good from those to whom you should give it, if it is within your power to help.
The wider communities should be concerned with as a result of their procedures when abuse allegations come forward. These sexual offenders are left at large in the communities. And as most people know about Jehovah's Witnesses, they're the ones that come to your door on Saturday morning when your kids are home.
Tricia says her first 14 years of life as a Jehovah's Witness was filled with sexual abuse that was ignored and covered up by the religious organization she has now left. This $66 million class action lawsuit has now been filed on behalf of alleged child sex abuse victims across the country, claiming this. The organization's policy and protocol for dealing with allegations of sexual abuse is seriously flawed and results in further harm to victims of sexual abuse and results in legitimate allegations of sexual abuse going unreported. Specifically named in the suit is what's called the two-witness rule.
They're expected to produce two credible eyewitnesses to their assault or to their abuse.
They are also shepherds, protecting the flock from Satan, the murderer, serpent, dragon, and lion.
The elders in the Jehovah's Witness organization are puppets under the governing body. You got the governing body and you have the elders. They're puppets under the 8 or 9 leaders of the Jehovah's Witness.